When leaving church on these winter afternoons, I can understand why ancient peoples had celebrations and rituals during the shortening days. Some thought it was these rituals that made the sun and the warmth return each year. They thought they had to help Mother Nature out, or whatever god they worshipped. And celebrations were probably a welcome diversion in the darkest of days. I am, though, sad that the terms of light and dark became metaphors for good and bad, virtue and sin. Whether in the old cowboy movies where the bad men wore the black hats and the good guys the white, whether in more harmful and continuing thoughts and practices in which light-skinned people were thought to be superior to dark. And even in scripture and song, Christ is the light of the world, the darkness cannot overcome it. We want to walk as the child of the light, for in Jesus is no darkness at all. I get it. And no ready-made replacements spring to mind. The metaphor is powerful. And yet, on a December mid-afternoon, when the sun is beginning to sink and the bare trees are backlit in the glorious glow, peachy and rosy, I recall my childhood. I would be trudging home, the 3 blocks from the elementary school, often lugging my saxophone that was almost as big as I. I would walk into the front door to be greeted by warmth and often the comforting smell of soup simmering on the old hot point stove in its recessed soup kettle. Whether I had skipped through crispy leaves or slid across snow, it felt so good, so cozy, and safe as the darkness fell. There is so much that is good about darkness. It is in the dark that things rest, are nurtured, and begin to grow. Think of the barren garden where the bulbs and the roots will one day send out new shoots. The unborn child in the womb. We would not be able to see the stars without darkness, or the cheeriness of holiday lights that twinkle around town, or the leaping flames of fire in the fireplace or the bonfire. Sometimes we tell our best stories in the dark. This year it is unlikely that we will be able to gaze together at candlelit faces in the darkened church on Christmas Eve. But we will find some way to bring it to mind. It may not be as good as being there, but it will be beautiful, I promise. See you in church on Zoom.